horror games on Roblox have evolved from being terrible to amazing. And one of my favorites is one that I'm really good at. Is called Doors. And in my most frequent video, I have beaten it. So these are some Doors tips and tricks that will help you beat Doors. Because they definitely help you. Some overall tips probably are number one is to get all the gold, because after door 50 you can access Jeff's shop and you can get a skull key, and you can also get a crucifix. A crucifix can basically stop an enemy in its path and either freeze them for some seconds or kill them instantly. Such as Figure and Seek, those guys are technically bosses, so it doesn't get rid of them, it just freezes them for a few seconds. But like Rush is an entity where it just, rushes, but you can easily kill him. The second overall goal for for Doors is that explore all closets and collect all items that you can find. Also, whenever you go into a room where there's a bunch of rooms and you need to get the key to go through the door, you should go sideways. You should go in each room, and even if you find the key, explore all of the rooms, because there's a high chance that there will be an item, because there's so many different closets and drawers for there to be able to spawn, of course. Multiplayer tips. Okay, this one was kind of hard for me to come up with some, but the first one is be a team player. Don't go off and don't let other people die because you run into a restroom and you don't tell them. It'll guarantee that basically all of your teammates will die. Another tip is communicate. So if you are at the very end of the the chase room or whatever with Seek, once you reach the end, you could say, "I survived" or something, so other people know to wait for you and don't keep waiting for you. Also, in the Figure room, aka library, if he's going up the stairs onto the second area where the door to the exit is, you could tell that to the people so they could run across and find more books. Tips for dark rooms. Okay, so dark rooms are those rooms that have Screech, which is everybody's least favorite person. Which basically, Screech can appear at any moment in time. And if you hear a psst in your headset or out, then you have to turn around and look for him, or he'll scare you, give you a jump scare, and take away about half your HP. But tips for dark rooms: always stay to the side of the room. Don't go into the middle or the area because you'll get lost. If you stay to the side, then you know where you are and you can easily navigate around the room. Plus, you can find some hidden areas Like maybe if it was one of those rooms with the grates and you have to go find the lever. If you didn't stay to the side, then you wouldn't know and you wouldn't be able to go down. Tip number 2 is search everywhere. Don't find the door and go in, because if it's dupe and it's a dark room, then you most likely get it if you don't explore the entire room. And yeah, that's pretty much it for dark rooms. Oh yeah, also, if you can get the candle, only use the candle in dark rooms. Don't use it in the A00 rooms or anything. Wait until you go back. Because the candle, if you hold it out, there's of course a blue light, but if Screech appears, the light turns blue, and then it'll give you a hint to turn around and find him, even if there's no psst, because sometimes there isn't. Rush tips and tricks. Basically, for Rush, I could only find one tip that is possibly able to be used. Well, I mean, it is. It's that when the lights flicker in the room, no matter how many, no matter which one, stay next to a closet. Don't automatically go in, because if you know, there is an entity called hide. I think that's what it's called. And if you're in a closet for long enough, it shoves you out. Also playing like a little help me with little tentacles coming on your screen. It's kind of gross. And your screen shakes violently. And that's why, because one time I hid and he shoved me out of the closet. So you have to wait until rush sound is really loud and then instantly hide. That's basically the only one, the one that I could find. By the way, don't ever use the crucifix on Rush. He's so easy to survive unless you get him on that room with the falling bookshelf and the opening doors and the broken glass. If you get Rush there, which I have, use it there because you cannot survive. It is impossible unless you go to the next room, which is really hard. At this point, if you followed, you've probably made it to the Seek Chase or the Eyes. So basically on this, the lights flicker even though Rush is not coming, and Rush cannot come because the lights flicker and the eyes spawn. It's a guaranteed chance that Rush will not spawn. Basically for Seek, the items that you want to use are the vitamins. The vitamins are big play. And when you're going, when you're going and you see a room with the 3 doors and you're running from him, you have to, whenever you run first into the room, dart your eyes like in real life to both sides, and if you don't see the door or notice the door, then you have to run around. But if you do, then you have to do a quick turn and go there. When you reach the hands part, it's pretty hard. Just know that the fire won't kill you. So if you think that you'll mess up on the hands, just run straight through the fire, even though it's not a good idea. But if you really need to, it's able to be done and it's possible. At this point, you've probably made it to door 50. Door 50 is probably the second to hardest door, other than door 100 to beat. But of course, first collect your gold in the stand and then go through the door. Instantly crouch when you spawn in. Instantly crouch, because he can't he can't see, he can only hear. And if you're crouching, he can't hear you walking. But if you get too close, he can hear your heartbeat and he will come and kill you. And that's how most people die. They overestimate their chances and they try to go for it, and they don't know that he can hear your heartbeat. So it's kind of bad if you do that and then you die. But whatever. Another trick is don't go in and look at the library's books. You have to go in and move across the library, just like put one of your sides on the bookshelf and walk. Just keep walking straight, because the books, they make a lot of sound. It's like a little twinkling sound. And if you hear that, look around. If you don't see the book, turn around and go there. Turn around and go to the other side of the bookshelf and get the book. Another tip for this is whenever figure leaves an area, you go in. So if he was in the upper deck and he just went down, you go up the upper deck. But I suggest you don't do that unless you've already gotten the paper and all the books on the bottom. If he gets too close to you, you should hide. The minigame is pretty hard, but it's not impossible. I've done it multiple times on the same run, and I have not died. I get that some people are bad at it, but you have to press Q or E when it's right about to hit the heart. Not when it hits the heart, but right before. If you do it right when it hits the heart, it's a most likely chance that you won't hit it in time and you'll fail. Another tip is, of course, I think you guys know that using the shapes, they correspond with the piece of paper next inside of that little section where there's no books. Grab that paper and maybe I'll say X, triangle, hexagon, pentagon, square. Then you have to find that on your screen and use those numbers to enter in the keypad. But the 8th number will always be the 5th code number. So technically you always have to find all 8 books. At this point, you've made it to the shop. When you make it to the shop, buy everything. I'm not kidding, just buy everything. Especially if there's a crucifix and the skull key, get both, because the skull key can give you regeneration, which is really, really good. Especially if, as I said, you want to go through, the flames. Once you're done with the seek chase, while you're in the flames, once you get out of the flames, you can heal your HP back. Except if you get hit by rush or ambush, it's impossible to survive because they instantly take away all your HP. I personally always use the crucifix on ambush. Ambush is probably the hardest entity to survive, other than the seek and the figure. He's the most annoying because he dodges back and forth. So my suggestion is that you just always use the crucifix on ambush. That's what I always do, and I think that's what you should too. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Alright, door 100. Door 100 is so hard. Oh my god, I hate it. Door 100 is basically, you have to go, whenever the chase scene occurs, you go straight, you turn left, and dart into a room, go to the side of the room, and crouch instantly. He will not know where you go, and basically, just like the library, these little things that you have to find for the elevator's power. Yeah, the stuff that you have to find, the elevator's power. There are 10 of them, and they also make a bunch of noise just like the books in the library. So an idea, and a good idea at that, is whenever he turns a corner, go the opposite direction and dart into the next room. Also, if you hear one and it sounds like it's coming from outside the hallway, it's because it is. It can be either found in the hallway or in the rooms. But usually 2 to 3 of those little micro things are found inside of the rooms. I have died to figure on this level way too many times. But the fact is, that's what the point of the mask is. I'm joking, bro. There isn't really any facts, but you have to, after you do that, you have to go up those stairs, the stairs that figure came out from and chased you, and once you go through that room with the little grates, there's an elevator, of course, that's where you exit from, and then there are these little areas to the side, and usually the key is on that. That's where I found my key always. So you get that key, you go down, you go inside a door that has a box in it. When you go through that door, there will be another door that you cannot enter through and an elevator control panel. The elevator control panel, I really don't have any idea on, but just don't click them while they're appearing. Click them after. Like, keep those numbers in your head and then click them, because if you do a wall, then you're guaranteed to miss something, especially on the 3rd level. Once you're done doing this, the figure will rush you. He will come out of that door that you couldn't, and you have to run out, up, and into the elevator. At that point, you've beaten doors. Good job. Some loud microphone clapping for you. Yeah, yeah. Hopefully this helped you. And thank you guys so much for getting so many views on my video. You guys are actually awesome. And goodbye.